Hello and good morning, everyone. We'll be getting started in just a couple of minutes as we give some time for folks to filter in into the webinar. So for now, just be on standby and we'll get started shortly. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. If additional folks hop into the webinar, that is perfectly fine. But good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar today regarding the ongoing Orange Line Metro shutdown. My name is Mark Pacumio, and I'm a business development manager with Arlington Transportation Partners, or ATP, and I will be hosting today's presentation. I'm joined today by a few special guests from the Ballston Improvement District, or the Ballston BID, and the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, or WMATA, who I will introduce shortly. In this especially tailored presentation for Ballston employees and residents, we will be providing information to help understand and navigate this scheduled maintenance, while also sharing some resources to help engage within Ballston. Now, in case you are unfamiliar with GoToWebinar, all attendees are muted by default. If you have any questions, you should type them in the questions section of your GoToWebinar dashboard. At the end of the presentation, our speakers today will be able to address these questions. The presentation itself will be roughly 30 minutes or so, with plenty of time allocated at the end for those questions. And this webinar will also be recorded and sent out. So even if some of you have to jump off or missed it for whatever reason, you'll be able to return to this recording and find the answer there. So with that being squared away, let's get into our presentation, starting with a few of those introductions. So you already know me, but again, my name is Mark Pacumio, a business development manager with ATP. So joining me today from the Ballston Business Improvement District is Pinky Advani, who supports business relationships with Ballston employers as the Business Engagement Director. And from WMATA is Carrie Toney, who works on the Metro Planned Project Strategic Communications team. And although not highlighted here individually, we also have additional WMATA employees, Kelly Stoll, Mark Bowman, and Jamisha Peter joining us in attendance today to provide additional information and address questions. So without further ado, I will turn the floor over to Pinky, who will be getting us started with a special presentation from the Ballston BID. So Pinky, it is all you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the kind introduction. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us in today's webinar. My name is Pinky Advani, and I'm with the Ballston Business Improvement District. Some of you already know me, but for those who don't know me, I'd love to connect with you maybe after the webinar and see how we can work together. So today I have a very short agenda. I'll be sharing some information about the Ballston Business Improvement District, for short, the Ballston BID, and also sharing some information about our events for Ballston-based employers like yourself and for your employees. So let's get started. Next slide, please. So first thing first, who we are. So the Ballston Business Improvement District, the Ballston BID, we are a 25-block area in Ballston. And what we do is everything from community events and outreach, economic development, placemaking, marketing for the businesses located in Ballston. So essentially, we are your one-stop resource for everything Ballston. So like I said, we can help you with everything in Ballston, connecting you to the right resources. One thing I cannot help you with is if you get a parking ticket. So that we cannot help you waive that parking ticket, but we can connect you, which you already are working with ATP, to see how you can come up with a different solution to avoid that parking ticket. Next slide. So like we like to say that life is full in Ballston. This is just like giving you a brief, collection of, just highlighting all our wonderful amenities and resources that are available in Ballston. We are the home of the nation's ice hockey team called the Capitals. We are also the home to globally recognized institutions such as Virginia Tech, Research, Marymount, and others, offering a variety of disciplines, degrees, and experiences. Home to several restaurants, entertainment venues, great tech technology companies and everything. So we say life is full in Boston. Next slide. So I'd like to touch on some of our, community and outreach events that are free for anybody working in Boston, and also for your employees. So we have a weekly farmers market at Belburn Square that's right across the metro. It runs from spring to fall every Thursday, and then we also have the mega market at the same place, which is once a month, that we have a beer and wine tent. So if you purchase anything from all the vendors at the farmers market, if you purchase anything, you spend like $10 or more, you get a ticket for a free beer or wine that you can use at the mega market. We also do quarterly networking events for our business community so that you can hang out and network with your coworkers, get to know some other businesses located in Boston. So we have that once a quarter, and this time it's going to be at Quincy Hall on Wednesday. It's between 5 and 7, and it is free for anybody working in Boston to attend. All we do is we just say that we request you to register, because that way it just helps us prepare and just to know like how many people we are anticipating. So if you go onto our website, I encourage everybody to sign up and come network, say hi to us at our next Sip and Mingle, which is at Quincy Hall. And then lastly, I also wanted to touch on our business appreciation campaign. So for what we are doing is trying to create some brand awareness, connect you to the resources, highlight some of the wonderful amenities that are available to you and your employees in Boston. We would like to host a customized event specifically at your office for your employees. So if you're interested in that, we would love to host this event free of charge for your employees. It could be a customized breakfast, it could be a social walk, it could be a wellness theme event. So connect with us, and we'd love to host an event, our business appreciation campaign event with you. Next slide. And I'd like to just end by saying thank you for choosing Boston. Thank you for choosing your office to be in Boston. And I'd love to connect with everybody. Please follow us on social, sign up for our newsletter. We don't send newsletters too often, once a month. So connect with us on whatever your favorite social media media handle is. And if you have any questions, you have my address over there below. It's pinky@bostonbid.com. And thank you.
Yes, thank you again to the Boston Bid, and especially Pinky, for partnering with us today to get this information out to you all. Pinky will be standing by until the end of the presentation, so if you do have any questions, do not hesitate again to use GoToWebinar's questions feature. Now our next speaker with WMATA is going to be Terry Coney, who will be speaking on the most up-to-date information regarding the metro shutdown. So Carrie, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Yes, just wanted to make sure. Today we're going to be discussing the 2023 major construction, series of construction projects that are going on the Orange and Silver Line. Next slide, please. Let's see. The purpose of the construction work is to complete roofing on the Eastern Orange Line, which has already taken place at New Carrollton and Minnesota Avenue. And for you all, this is about the rail replacement and fiber installation on the Western Orange Line and part of the Silver Line. And the last phase will be installation on the Green Line, but that will also be in Maryland. Next. Yep. Next. So the shutdown began about a week and a half ago. The Orange and Silver Line, Boston and McLean, Virginia. This is going to be from June 3rd to the 25th. The stations that are currently affected, that are closed, are Vienna, Dunloring, West Falls Church, East and East Falls Church. Throughout the shutdowns, we are providing free shuttle service. And as you can see here, these are the shuttle maps. And this information is also available on our website, which you will be able, I'll give you that information towards the end of the slide. But these are free shuttles. Some provide local service. That's the Orange Line shuttle between Vienna, Dunloring, West Falls Church, and Ballston MU. The Silver Line shuttle between McLean, East Falls Church, and Ballston. We have an express service between Vienna and Roslyn, and a limited stop service between Washington Dulles International Airport, McLean, and Roslyn. And the shuttles operate every 5 to 10 minutes. Next. And for those who are traveling towards the airport, you have a few options. You can ride the Silver Line Limited Shuttle with limited stop service to Dulles International Airport, and this service is available until 9 p.m. Or you could ride the Silver Line and transfer to the Silver Line shuttle with service between McLean and Ballston. This is available during all Metrorail operating hours. And this is just a little bit of information on the rail service that's going to be available. But Orange and Silver Line trains every 12 minutes, each between Ballston and MU. Silver Line trains every 8 minutes between Ashburn and McLean. All other times of the day and the weekends, the Orange Line trains every 15 minutes. Silver Line trains every 15 between Ballston and downtown Largo. And Silver Line trains every 8 minutes between Ashburn and McLean. I'm not sure if many of you are aware, this shutdown is being done on the Orange and Silver Line and the Orange Line in kind of like 2 phases. And we did this to reduce the impact. So East Falls Church and West Falls Church will reopen, but the Vienna and Dunloring will remain closed. And once again, we will continue to provide free shuttle service between Vienna and Dunloring and West Falls Church, where the shuttles operate every 5 to 10 minutes. Next. Prior to the shutdown and throughout the shutdown, we refer to as our street teams. They're present at all of the closed stations and the shuttle stops during the shutdown. You can ask them questions. They speak multiple languages. If you're not sure, if you're looking for alternative routes, or you just have, not sure which way to go, in addition to all the signage we have there, the outreach street team will be able to assist you. And for up-to-date resources and news, our website at 2023, WMATA 2023 Major Construction is the best place for travel alternatives, shuttle maps, and updates. We also encourage you to visit that site and sign up for our newsletter, where we send it out monthly, and you can receive up-to-date information about not just the shutdown, but fun behind-the-scenes facts and pictures, and get a better understanding of why we're doing this work and how it will help improve your commute. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Carrie, for sharing this information with our attendees. So if you have any questions regarding the Metro shutdown, again, refer to GoToWebinar's questions feature. We will be answering questions at the end of this presentation. Just one more section to get to, and for this final section, I will be discussing the services that Arlington Transportation Partners, or ATP, can provide to support with this disruption. So we will be previewing a number of alternate modes of transportation. ATP works with employers all over Arlington to help implement and enhance transit, telework, flexible scheduling, capital bike share, carpool, and VAMPL programs, all at their workplace. So we have been working with hundreds of employers over the last 2.5 decades to provide a number of transportation services and commuter benefit resources to help manage this current Metro disruption and any other future obstacles to employee commutes. ATP can help you pilot a telework program and train managers to support telework. We can share resources regarding capital bike share and help employers to provide reduced cost memberships for their employees. We can connect your employees with others who live nearby to get a carpool or a van pool set up, depending on the number of people. And these are just the beginning of our services. ATP is more than happy to connect with you to address any of your company's transportation needs. But first, let's just reiterate what WMATA spoke about. So there will be a number of shuttles available for the first phase of the shutdown, which again began on June 3rd. For the more specific information regarding the frequency and the timing of the shuttles, please refer back to the project website shared earlier in the presentation. That was wmata.com/2023 major construction. But again, just to kind of preview what those various shuttles look like for this first phase, you'll have the Orange Line shuttle, which is just a local bus service hitting Vienna through the Ballston MU stations. The Silver Line shuttle, very similar in that it goes from McLean through Ballston. Now the Orange Line Express, which will just be the direct express bus service between Vienna and Roslyn. And then, as Carrie was saying, the Silver Line Limited, which will give the bus service between the airport IAD, Washington Dulles, between McLean and Roslyn. And then just moving on to the second phase, so from June 26th through July 16, the shuttles are just reduced to the Orange Line shuttle, which again will maintain that service between Vienna through West Falls Church. And then the daytime and late night weekend, or daytime, weekend, and late night rail services outlined here. 12 minutes between West Falls Church for the daytime and weekend, and then 15 minutes between West Falls Church and New Carrollton late night, which begins after 9:30 p.m. But next, let's talk about flexible scheduling. So flexible scheduling is a way for employees to find a work schedule that works best for them without having to stay restrained to, the 8 to 5, the 9 to 5 traditional workplace. Through flexible scheduling, employees are able to stagger their hours to avoid peak hours, which saves them, peak commute hours rather, to save them time and money. Overall, flexible scheduling does help to reduce turnover, tardiness, and absenteeism. So ATP reps can work with employers to set this up in the workplace and create an actionable plan to successfully implement this flexible scheduling. Telework. So I believe that we're all fairly familiar with telework, considering what our world has looked like through the last couple of years. Now, although many companies are piloting return to work policies currently, telework can still play a pivotal role in the work-life balance when commutes are impacted, namely disruptions such as these. So ATP has a number of telework guides and training services that we are able to offer employers who are interested in maintaining or improving upon current telework practices. On to Capital Bike Share. So Capital Bike Share, this is a fantastic service in the Washington metropolitan area's premier bike sharing system. The stations, you've probably seen them if you've been out and about in the region, but they're bright red and hard to miss. And if you download the app, Capital Bike Share, you'll be able to view a map with all the locations. You may find that there are stations nearby that can assist with your commute. Namely, there are stations near the Ballston Metro station. And if you're not going by that way, there are still a number of stations located all up and down both Fairfax Drive, Wilson Boulevard, and again, just the region in general. These stations are everywhere. So annual membership costs about $95 a year, and it does include all rides under 30 minutes. Now, ATP can also work with employers, as mentioned previously, to help reduce the cost, to get you some discounted pricings for Capital Bike Share. But the way that it works is that once you have installed the app, it will point you in the direction of the nearest station along with what bikes are currently available. So there are the traditional bikes, of course, but we also have a fleet and a number of e-bikes that are now being offered at Capital Bike Share stations. So if you have not had a chance to try out the e-bikes, highly recommend doing so, and they'll get you where you need to go in a jiffy at less of a workout there. But when you get to the station and you're picking out your bike, you just lift it out of the dock and you ride to your destination, and you do have to return it to another Capital Bike Share station. And key part here, wait for the light to turn green to verify that it has locked and ended your trip. So again, employers, you can work with us to, gauge interest for capital bike share at your workplace and see if this is something that you are interested in talking through and implementing on a greater, company-wide scale. So carpool, something that I believe that we are familiar with as well. The concept of carpooling is that you and a couple of other employees who live in your region or area, you will pile up in a car and head to the same destination, right? Reduce the number of vehicles that are on the road, save everybody a little bit of gas money. That's the idea with carpooling here. And if you sign up through Commuter Connections and verify that you are in a carpool, you can earn up to $130 per 90-day period with their pool reward program. So you can actually get some cash through just doing the simple step of signing up and riding in a carpool. Additionally, many office buildings in Arlington and the greater region in general will have specific spaces allocated to carpool drivers. And many employers are offering benefits as well for employees who do carpool together. So again, if this is something that you as employers are interested in, schedule a meeting with an ATP rep today and we can talk through setting up a carpool. Now, carpools, this is a way to work with those who are impacted by the metro shutdown. On a more informal scale, a ride matching board or something of that nature can be set up at your place of business to gauge interest, to see who's living in a general area, to determine who may be interested for a carpool. And again, carpool or Commuter Connections rather can help you to set that up and to even find additional riders for your carpool. And on to the last mode of transportation we're going to promote today. That's going to be vanpool, carpool's older sister, bigger sister. So with a vanpool, this is where a rented van for a group of 4 or more people can meet up at a central location, whether it be a park, a apartment building, you name it. The vehicle will be there. You get to that vehicle, and then your group of 4 or more will take the van to your workplace. So this is great for those who live 15 plus miles away from work. Again, save some money on gas. Share the commute with coworkers, and this allows you to travel in free HOV, HOT lanes, and you'll be able to avoid the cost of wear and tear on your personal vehicle. Vanpool is something that can always be larger in the region, so work with your ATP rep to potentially get a vanpool set up at your place of business. So what is the cost of a vanpool? Now, the pricing does depend based on the nature of the trip and the type of van and things of that nature, but there are many financial incentives that are offered through various organizations in the area to help keep costs down. So if you're an individual looking to join a vanpool, if you're interested in that, you can go to joinavanpool.com. It's as simple as that. And if there are riders in your area who are also interested, the website will help you to kind of navigate that space and find a van. Now, if you are, again, an employer looking to employ this with your employees, meet with an ATP rep, and we will work with local partners to provide you with a van and to get you going on your way towards a vanpool. So that about wraps our presentation. I would urge you all, if you have any questions, to ask them in the question section of GoToWebinar. Looks like we have one right now, and I believe this will go to Carrie or someone from the WMATA team. So just to verify, the McLean shuttle bus goes to Ballston, and the exact same bus will return back to McLean. I believe they're just looking for clarification on that statement. So if Carrie or someone from the WMATA team could answer that.
I'm
So
sorry.
the silver local from Boston to McLean stops at East Falls Church. That's the services. The service stops are Boston, East Falls, and McLean. And just for clarification, you may be referring to the first bus. So with the first bus, it stops at McLean first, and then it deadheads back to Boston to make sure that the bus is there to meet the first rail train car at Boston at that time. But otherwise, the service stops are Boston, East Falls Church, McLean.
Thank you for that, Jamisha. So we currently have no other questions in the queue. We will still hang out in the webinar chat for a couple of minutes. So if you have any questions, please ask them. We are here as a resource to help. So like I said, we'll just stay live for a couple of more minutes and we'll answer any other questions that come through. But otherwise, thank you so much for attending our webinar today. And hopefully we were able to give you some information that you're in need of. Thanks again to all our guest speakers.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, of course. So I think we'll hang out until 11:30 or so. Get your questions in by then. But if there are no questions by 11:30, then we will just go ahead and call this webinar concluded. Thank you.